Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm participating in the December Daily Inspiration Group YouTube Hop, and I'm going to start off here today just by flipping through what I've created so far in my album. I'm using an Ali Edwards album from last year, and I am just creating a whole bunch of base pages here to start off with to kind of just get going. And when I've got my photographs all taken and so on, then I can just pop them into my book and do the journaling and maybe any embellishing that I might want to create. My goal this year really is to, of course, do my album and do the memory keeping, but also to use my stash. And you'll see that there's not really one collection represented here, but a whole bunch of different collections that have been combined to create the album. I've got sticky notes on a variety of the pages here just to remind me of what I want to do on those pages. And so you can see here, this is really just in the planning phase. A lot of the pages are ready for, photos and the embellishments or the stories. And this really does save a lot of time when the actual photos start to go into the album. So today, what I wanted to do is to create another double page spread and share that process with you. I have been using quite a few cut files in my album, including this first page here with the Poinsettia 2 cut file from Just Nick. This is the cut file I'm going to be using today. It's called Joy Background. I think it's really cool, and I thought it was a really neat way to create my 8x6 layout for the right side of my layout today. And so what I'm using today for products is the My Mind's Eye Sugar Plum collection, and I think that was from last year, but it could have been the year before. I really love the color palette here. It's fairly similar to what I've been using in the book so far. So lots of pinks and reds, aquas, that kind of thing. And what I did was I cut the cut file. You can see that on the right there from some really pretty paper that's got a pink base with these really lovely kind of little gold stars or snowflakes. And the cutaway part there that says joy, I've backed with this red triangle paper, and that's what I'm going to use also to create this interactive piece for this page. So I took a smaller piece of that same red triangle cardstock and I cut it down. I scored it on the left side there to create the fold. And now I'm ready to adhere that down to the base paper. Now I did round the corners on this flap, and I'm going to adhere the flap to my page with some really strong double-sided tape so that this doesn't come loose in my book. It will stay really nice and firmly and securely to the base page. This is really important too, as far as adhesive goes. When you've got paper that has glitter on it, glitter tends to cause problems when you're trying to stick things to it. So I just felt a lot better about using this double-sided adhesive here. It's super, super strong. So I'm going to stick that down, and I've also pulled out a bunch of the embellishments from the Sugar Plum collection, including this little die cut piece, which is really sweet, and it actually matches the back side of this paper as well. So when the flap opens, you'll notice that the backside of that red and pink triangle paper has poinsettias on it, and that pattern obviously is complemented by this die cut piece. So I wanted to just pop this up with a couple of foam dots, and that's how I'm going to adhere that to the flap. And then that'll be a place to help open the flap. You can just grab that little die cut piece and open that little flap in that way. And underneath the flap, I can put a photo, I can put some journaling, I could put a photo on top of the flap, whatever I choose to do when I'm ready to finish this particular double page spread. So that pink paper has to be stuck onto that aqua colored base. And the aqua colored base is going to also be what I hole punch and put into the rings of my binder. Now, the Ali Edwards binders have 6 rings in them, so I did create a template for hole punching pages like this that aren't going into a page protector. and I will show you that hole punching process here right away. So I'm just going to get that pink paper stuck to that blue base, and then I will go ahead and stick that joy word back in there, which I should have waited to stick that down until I had my page all stuck down. But anyways, I'll do that now. And then this is basically all done except for a little bit more embellishing. And then I have to put the holes, punch the holes in. So creating these little inserts like this is super easy to do. I find that it's a lot of fun. I think it adds a lot of character to your book. And it's just a really neat way to jazz things up a little bit rather than just having pages and page protectors. So it makes your book a little bit more interactive. Makes it look a little bit more fun to look at for the people that are looking at your book. And I just really like including these in my process. I also went into this collection Baggy, and I pulled out the 4x3 cards that I had from this collection as well. I really love how these are double-sided. So they either have a pattern on the back or they've got a place to journal on the back or whatever. And I really like that. I didn't want too many of these cards to have words and phrases on them, so I'm just kind of mixing them up a little bit to change that up. I will most likely use the paper that's on the bottom, or the 4x3 card that's on the bottom left for a photograph. And the one on the top right that has the oval looks like it's probably going to be a great spot for some journaling. So that's right now what I'm thinking I'm probably going to do with this double page spread. The topic for this one, not sure yet. I actually am not using prompts this year. At least I didn't pick out a prompt list and run with it this year. I have done that to organize my book in the past, or sometimes in the past, but not always. It's just kind of whatever you feel like doing. This year, just kind of wanted to just go with the flow, create base pages, and then go back after and decide what I want to use the pages for. Some of them I've specifically designated for certain things, and that was the sticky note business that I showed you when I flipped through my album. Some of these pages I'm not sure yet, and I actually really find that it helps with my creativity when I don't necessarily have any strict things that I feel like I need to do. If I'm just creating for the sake of creating and can just do whatever I want, I feel like my ideas flow a lot more freely. I don't know if you guys find that or not, but it's basically whatever process works best for you. I, once again, will reiterate, and I've said this on other videos during my December album series this year here on YouTube, a really great place for inspiration besides YouTube is Pinterest. If you aren't really sure what you want to do with your album, certainly check it out. Go over there. There's lots of prompt lists, and I mean tons. There are, ideas for taking photographs. There's ideas for themes for your pages. There's beautiful ideas for layouts or interactive elements and so on and so forth. Lots of really great ideas on Pinterest. I highly recommend it. I will also link my December album playlist to my description box below so that you can check out other inspiration from other years or from this year, whatever you want to do. I am going to be leaving the link in the description box below as well for the next person in the hop. Please be sure that you check out all of the different people in the hop who are sharing videos today. This is a great place to get ideas for your project this year and to help you finish this project up. I mean, you know what? Lots of people work on their album all year long. It's not just a project that they work on during December. They are working on it in July. They're finishing it, September the next year. It doesn't really matter. Like the Facebook group says, anything goes. It's really true. You make this project your own. Do whatever you feel is going to help you do the best project for you and your memory keeping process. This is a little template that I created to hole punch my page. I'm going to just take this and line it up so that it is where I want it to be, where it's centered on the page. I'll just take my little hole punch here, punch those holes out, and my page will be ready to insert into my album. I am going to show you these pages in the album and so that you can see what they look like once they're in the book. And I hope you were inspired today. I hope you got some ideas for what you could create. There's so many ideas out there, like I mentioned, and so many things that you can do with this project. And I love this project every single year. I have so much fun with it. It really is a blast to create, and I hope that this is something that will help you out. I am so glad that you stopped by today. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. And like I said, don't forget to check the links in the description box below this video. Thank you so much, and I will see you again. Bye-bye.